Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. As you can see, I've been busy the past few weeks, playing my new favorite VR game. BONELAB is the most recent VR sensation. Birthed from the minds at Stress Level Zero, BONELAB is a story-based physics sandbox, wave shooter, mod showcase, melee combat, VR puzzle, horror game. You get the picture. There's a lot of stuff to do in the game, but I know what you're thinking. Horror game? This? Is a horror game? Well, yes and no. It's hyperbolic to say it's horror, but the game certainly uses creepy atmosphere and certain phobias to elicit a response from the player. And now I have an excuse to post something for Halloween. Yeah! The enemies in the game are honestly super fun to fight, but that's neither here nor there. One key to good game design is storytelling through the composition of the environment. A great example of this is Overwatch. Each character has its special design to match their personality, and even the animations and effects are tailored for each hero to feel individualistic. Each of the Bone games do a great job of this, both in the environment and the enemy's design. For example, at first you just fight skeletons, just to teach the basics. Literally the most bare bones character design. They're just here to fit the illusion of the fantasy land that we start in. Then we get further into the game. We meet the null bodies, crablets, and omni projectors, all of which solidify the dystopian world. On many occasions, you can catch these enemies just sitting there, like they're idle. And then if they see or hear you, they'll activate, implying they have no purpose but to kill.
Can a guy get some privacy?
The worst part about this is every NPC you encounter will try to kill you, with a few minor exceptions. This hardens you to the game's experience. Games like Red Dead encourage you to pick and choose who does and doesn't deserve some good old Western justice. But in BONELAB, you're either completely alone or fighting for your life. Also, if you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much. You're the best. Mwah. Mwah. That was too much. The sound design in BONELAB is pretty good, but I personally love the music. And I love the sounds that enemies make, the droning of the crablets, the trigger noise of the null bodies, and the chatter of the omni projectors. This is great, because it lets you know what your next confrontation will look like. I have been conditioned to become tense to the sound of the crablets drone. And then to get a tiny hit of dopamine whenever I hear it shut down. Even though this is spooky, I argue the best scares don't exactly come from the sound, but the lack thereof. The moments in the game I found to be the most frightening were when nothing was happening at all, when I was alone, with no music. Maybe this is just me, but I always felt like I was being watched, especially in these moments when my mind was free to wander with no sounds, no enemies. And as I explore this strange train of thought, I would fixate on the environment, Which brings us to our last point. Dang, this writing is so good.
Gay.
Liminal spaces are in. So glad I bought my own endless corridor with no doors or windows before the prices went up. Both the Bone games do their darndest to feel dystopian. The Myth OS city in which it is supposed to take place is an unreleased game. For lack of a better term, it is unpopulated and unfinished. I felt like some of these virtual set pieces were just an AI's best attempt at creating human entertainment. In the level called Light, It is a Mario Kart style level where you have to go a couple laps in a go-kart. And this is the level I realized the devs must be going out of their way to make you feel alone. Not only are there no other racers on the track, but there is no audience. You can hear cheering, but you won't find a living being who is making the noise, no audience. You can hear cheering, but you won't find a living being who's making the noise. It's very eerie. On top of this, no matter where you go, even if you think you're outside, you can see that everything is just on a screen. Quick warning, I will be talking about the ending of the game, so please skip to this timestamp if you would like to experience the game yourself. Okay, now that all the losers are gone, we can discuss how all three of these creepy aspects coagulate to contribute towards the feel and story of the game. After all the fighting and running, you get to the end, where writing on the walls imply that you're getting closer to ascending, and that the Lava Gang is waiting for you on the other side. I didn't know who the Lava Gang was, but after this incredibly lonely campaign, I was honestly excited at the thought that I would see living people. And once I got to the elevator, and I started to ascend, I could hear the world above me. I heard yelling. I felt a sinking feeling that the fighting wasn't over. So then the longest and heaviest fight begins. As an absolute dense soundtrack starts, the weight of the situation hits you like my Toyota Corolla hits pedestrians. After the tumultuous fight, you make it to a nice landscape, where a giant hand breaks through the screens that have been holding up this illusion. After some exposition and end credits, it really feels like you've escaped. But then, you end up right back where you started, the main menu. Almost like the only way to truly escape is to not play the game. Wow, that was a lot. I'll be honest. I'm not sure how much of these aspects were totally intentional, but this is what I got out of the experience. I'm an experienced VR player, and I already have a decent amount of hours in Boneworks. Yet, I still get this feeling of being watched. Also, this part is literally the back rooms. I mean, come on. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching this far. If you have any suggestions for the type of content you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. And head over to the Intrepid and Bold YouTube channel because they will be posting a video over this Halloween as well about faith.
What I am about to do has not been approved by the Vatican,
which just came out recently, so you should see that. Go watch it. This is Airsoft. I'm holding a toy right now. Happy Halloween.